Hello, we should be live right now. Welcome to the channel. Today, I have a box of mystery with a very badly drawn question mark. So first of all, thank you Canadian Computer Collector for dropping by. Let me just see if I can rearrange this just a little more. There we go. In this box are some of my pickups from generally yesterday, but from the past couple of days, really. And what I thought I'd do is just go through some of it and maybe use some of it today. So, I want to welcome the CCC, Garth Beagle. Garth is a t-shirt fanatic and one of my favorite people. So, we have Justin D. Morgan. Do not confuse him with Justin F. Morgan. So the box doesn't say Pandora's on it, so welcome, Justin. It does not say that. And we have Alex. Alex is now a YouTube sensation. I saw she was on yesterday doing some gaming, I believe. So, thank you all for joining, leaving a like, subscribing, sharing, sending gigantic donations to my channel. So, what we're going to do today is I'm going to be taking some of the stuff out of the box that I got. And, yeah, maybe we'll use some of it. So, here's the mystery box. I will move it to the side because it is quite big and falling apart. So, I'll just take a little bit out at a time. If you're having trouble hearing me, besides Alex, who is out shopping right now, please let me know. So, we'll do this in a specific order. It's not necessarily going to be the days that I got everything. It'll just be levels of what I enjoy the most, really. Comes down to it. Okay. So, and we're not necessarily going to test everything because I cannot. Let's just refocus. There we go. So the first thing I picked up is there is this church not too far from me that sell, clothing. They have like a thrift shop in there. Clothing, jewelry, electronics, things like that. So, let's just flip that around so you can read it. They are $2 a piece. It was 4 for 5. Sorry. 5 by 4. Get the fifth one free. Let's try that again. So I picked up a few of these. The first one is the Xbox Arcade Unplugged. Let me try to get it focused. Okay. Apparently it's not for resale version. Has the disc. Disc is perfectly fine because whoever got this, it probably came with the system. They played it twice and then put on Halo. So that was a cool pickup. Nothing too exciting for the games. Bejeweled 2, Geometry World, Retro Evolved, Wick, Fable of Souls, Texas Hold'em, Outpost Kaliki, and Hardwood Backgammon. So those are just all the games right there. And sorry for the camera zooming in and out, but it's trying to focus on different things right now. Garth has gotten ahead of me. So I'm going to move this to the side, Garth, because you're ruining it for me. It is Saturday Night, The Best of Will Ferrell. It is not a game. Not a game. Will Ferrell, one of my all-time favorite SNL cast members. Disc is perfectly fine. I'm sure I can get this online, by the way. I'm sure I could find it. There you go. But I always like to have a hard copy of things. And I think Garth is making money in the chat right now. I think his store is Pixel Retro. So, some of what we got. Next, you're going to want that cowbell. Exactly. Next, from the same place, Midnight Club 2. Again, this is an original, an OG Xbox game. Manual. Disc. Should be in perfect condition. If it will come out. As you can see, it's nice and shiny. It should be good. Now's the time to buy Xbox, by the way. I mean, it's not super valuable. It's not Nintendo or, or even Sega or, Sony, Xbox always gets left behind. And very soon, they're done with their backwards compatibility program. So if you want to be playing these games, you better have an original Xbox or a 360, really. Because soon you will not be able to play any of your old games on the new console. Next game, Project Gotham Racing 2. Fun game. Xbox exclusive, as you can see. Just your basic run-of-the-mill racing game. Again, has its manual. Sorry. Has its manual, I should say right there. And a little advertisement as well. I'm not going to show every game on the back of it, because trust me on it, that one is not scratched as well. For some reason, I find people take better care of their Xbox games than their Nintendo games. Next, what we got? Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, and the reason I got it is the GameCube version. I don't know necessarily if it's the best version, but I know GameCube is getting harder and harder to find since the whole human malware thing. Now, if you look very closely, though, here is the game. It's a little scratched. I'm not going to say it's not. Generally, I find GameCube games, they look like somebody dragged them on the floor. But it came with a second game, Tony Hawk's Underground 2. I already have a copy of this, so I'm probably just going to flip it for a few bucks. Because again, it's just game only. It's not a super valuable game. It'll definitely help with paying for this purchase. No manual. I do have like their whole instruction guide, though. So I hope all of you are doing well today, by the way, if I haven't said it. So that is the first set of pickups. And that's pretty much as new, we'll call it, from the things that I got, except for maybe one more. So it was, I think I paid $9. I also got a cable, which I can't seem to find now. Ah, here we go. So I paid $9 total for all these games, and I also found one of these in a box of cables. I believe it's genuine. The rubber feels genuine. Not entirely sure. There's a little bend in it. This is for the Apple Watch charger. Can never have too many of those. I do have an Apple Watch, so. Next, I know you're dying to see what else I've got. I've done a little eBay shopping. Because I love eBay shopping. Because you get the coolest things. I generally only try to get things that the shipping's not going to kill me. I'm in Canada, so a lot of the stuff comes from the States and is extremely expensive, or people charge a lot of money for it. Let me see if I can fix this camera, because it keeps readjusting. Boop. This is not one of the pickups, but I'm just going to leave this here so it stays focused. You open for a Macintosh? Well, we all got hopes and dreams. So the next thing I picked up was this right here. So this Discman is a D4, I believe. I could find where it's at. Yeah, it's hard to see, but no, you're not going to quite see, but it's a D-4 Discman. It was sold as not working, unfortunately. It is an OG Discman. It's original gangsta, as we say around here. Had a battery inside. We'll go get that battery. One of these. So it's a rechargeable battery. I am sure it is long dead. Luckily, nothing seems to have leaked out. So this is from 1989. Seller sold it as not working, that it lights up. I tried it with a 9-volt power supply, and they were very right. So I've read online that a lot of these, the problem is there's like a gear to move the, I guess the whole assembly, for the laser, that the grease gets like coagulated and just like locks up. So I tried re-greasing that rail. I opened it up as best as I can. Luckily, Sony make it pretty easy for you because they put little arrows next to where all the screws that should come out go. So it's like they want you to open it, I suppose. So I greased up the rail as much as I could. Nothing. Inside, there's a little like tab here. So it pushes down on a little switch inside that tells it that there's a disc inside. So I took a plastic spudger, pushed pushed the little white tab to the side so it would so I'm moving a lot of stuff, sorry. So yeah, so that it would have the laser reading. But unfortunately, the laser never moved. The motor never made a sound, so I'm pretty sure the motor's burnt out on this. Like, the laser, I'm sure is fine. It didn't move up and down like you would expect it to, so again, I'm pretty sure just the motor is dead. I'm pretty sure I could find another one. I didn't pay too much for this, so this is just going to go into, like, my Sony collection. Everything works besides that. I mean, besides wanting to actually use it. So we have, you know, the little volume controls, everything. We have the screen works perfectly fine when it's plugged in. If you want to see the serial number. Exciting. Did focus. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything I could do about the camera. Let me see. No. For now, it looks like we're stuck. And yes, Garth, it is one of the 80s ones, so it's pretty original. This is not the first one, obviously, but very cool portable one. It has a line out on it. You know, I had rechargeable batteries, headphones. You can even have a spot for a remote control right there. So, it's very cool. You won't be surprised if the caps in this have gone bad too. I'm sure they have. I opened it up as best as I can. I mean, you take the screws off the bottom. The whole bottom plate lifts off. And then you have the PCB and everything underneath. Unfortunately, you know, with the wires and everything, you can't take the PCB, let's try that again. You cannot take the PCB off all the way. You'd have to desolder the wires. I've never soldered a day in my life. I do not have a soldering iron, and I wasn't going to rip the wires off the board. So, pretty good deal for that one. Something else that came in the mail, it's not retro, but I got it a couple of days ago, is this. So, this right here, oh man, this camera just keeps zooming in and out, is at Lona. What it does, it takes a VGA, the audio, and it powers to USB to HDMI. So you have a manual or an automatic switch or a manual. Manual, just keep pressing this and it changes the resolution. Yes, they're super tight. Watch some of Colin's restoration videos. I have seen some of Colin's videos on them. He inspired me. I mean, he did a recent one on CD players from different ages. I have a bunch myself, not as many as he does. I'd never picked up a lot like that. So yeah, this, it works. I played around with it before. I got it working eventually. And it just takes a lot of practice, and I don't know if it's playing great with my capture card that I have behind on this Mac Pro right now. So I tried a few machines, a few laptops, did not quite get a signal out. What I was able to do was hook up a G4 tower, and after playing with the settings a bit, it worked, and it streamed, well, through OBS. It connected to this 2010 Pro. So this is cool. This hopefully is going to get me to capture some footage or maybe some game streaming using this. It was a recommendation from Steve and Mike that they've been picking these up for like $20 a piece. I've been waiting to find one like this, but whenever I found one that was willing to ship to Canada, it was going to cost me about $100 with the shipping and the device, which was not worth it to me. They don't make this anymore, I'm pretty sure. It is a vintage piece of technology. No reason to pay that much. So with the shipping, this came out to very little, and I'm very happy with this. It'll definitely help. me 1 second. Just going to take a little bit of water. And again, I hope you are all having a great weekend, by the way. If you celebrate Orthodox Easter, Happy Easter. Okay. Next. Now we're getting to more of the retro things. I like to get a working capture set up for the old Macs. I have another VGA capture, but it doesn't do the scaling. That one does scaling, so it up-converts the signal, I guess. I tried that VGA one, and it just did not... It just did not work. So that's why I've been keeping an eye out for that. Justin, that would have to fit in a small flat rate priority box, not $100 Canada. I agree, Justin, but when people on eBay put their shipping and everything, they've decided how much it's going to be. Yeah, Alex, today's Easter. It's Orthodox Easter. So, you know, Greek Orthodox people, for example, they're celebrating Russian, I believe, as well. So, I mean, if you look in Ukraine, they're celebrating Orthodox Easter. So, yeah, it is Easter. I'm not going to argue about when Easter's supposed to be, but yeah, people celebrate it at different times. So next, so yesterday I went out for most of the day, and I went to the thrift store, and then I went to some pawn shops. Now I have a hit and miss with pawn shops. Selling to pawn shops is just a waste of time for me. I brought them retro games, things like that, and they never seem to offer much. You know, they want pennies on the dollar, and to me it's not worth it. I've tried doing things like trades. Sometimes has worked out. But I find it's better for if you're just going there as a straight buyer and you bring cash, because cash is king. Just readjust this. You almost saw my face there. Again, sorry for the zooming in and out. I don't have any capture software or anything on this camera. So yeah, so I went to, like I said, I got those first games from a charity shop. And then I went to some pawn shops. I went to other charity shops, but I found absolutely nothing. Funny enough, you could generally get a better deal at a pawn shop than a charity shop, depending on the size of what they are. Yeah, Justin is right. Pawn shops do love cash. You pay cash, you will get a better deal, because they don't have to give a receipt, or they choose not to give a receipt. To me, it makes no difference. You don't want to give me a receipt, I don't care. So I picked up some games. Man, the camera's bothering me quite a bit. Okay, so here's one of the games I picked up yesterday. This is like a Bomberman Super Famicom. It is real. It's hard to see, but you see those little imprints in the cartridge? Come on. Okay. See the little 00 imprints in the cartridge? Usually you could tell that it's real based on that. Usually Nintendo does something like that with all their things. So the cartridge is in great shape. I mean, it maybe needs a little bit of a cleaning, but not too much. I wasn't entirely sure what it was. I took out Google Translate on my phone and picked this guy up. So that was one of the games. At that same pawn shop, come on. There we go. I got this. So it's obviously it's not an official Nintendo game. It's a multi-cart. And if you ever seen my videos, like my last video, what I did on my multi-cart obsession, I just love them. So supposedly it's 260 in one. And maybe we'll take a look at this today. But before we do, and before we continue, I thought I'd show you something. So I've cleaned I always clean all the games I get, the cartridge games, just so I know that they're going to work. So, I found something very interesting about this. 20 versions of Mario. Yeah, pretty much. So, let's open this up. It's just a regular Phillips head. It only has 2 screws. So if we open this up, the screw wants to stay in there, it's fine. Are you ready? I'm going to wait to open this till I see in the chat that you are ready. I can wait. I have time. It's very exciting. You're going to want to type, I am ready, while I take a drink of water. Okay. If Justin D. Morgan says we're ready. Garth says they're going to be a water cat. Yeah, I wish, Garth, really. Then I could afford more Apple t-shirts. So, just take the top off. Here's what's inside. So, in there, this is a Famicom cartridge. That is one of those adapters that, I don't know if you've ever seen them, well, I'm assuming your age is, by the way, but when I was a kid, when you get, like a Famicom cart, you would have it, and then it had a little plastic bit on the bottom that you plug it into so you could use it on your Nintendo, because the pins are different. There's more pins on the NES. All this is it's just the adapter. They stuck it to the cart. Now, I felt that it was very heavy when I picked it up, and I was like, and then I felt this rattling around. Which, Nintendo games are not that heavy. So I thought that was cool. It's like a 2-in-1. You got all your games, and you have an extra adapter if you really want it. And so I thought that was very cool. This is by far the heaviest NES game that I have, or Famicom, whatever you want to call it. I've already cleaned the contacts, so this should be good to go. Justin was expecting a tiny PCB with epoxy encapsulated chip, not a full-size Fami board with an adapter. Didn't intend to do that some of the early run. Yes, they did. Excuse me. On Twitter today, I saw someone who actually had a copy of an official NES game, but inside was that exact adapter, and I guess their Famicom version of the game. So they definitely did. Very cool, and you can hear that. Flops around, it's quite heavy. One of the best pickups, for sure. I love that. All right. Speaking of tiny, I also picked up some, let's put it this way, Gameboy Games. Yeah, super cool gaming adapter for free. Okay, so I did pick up some Gameboy games. These are all official. Again, I like the multi-carts. I don't like the scammy carts that are just, fake versions. Like, today, like, people buy Pokemon games. Excuse me, and they're obviously just fake games. Those I don't want to collect. I like the multi-carts because they're very different. Like, they're games that you're not going to see anywhere else. For a reason, they're pretty garbage usually. Welcome back, Alex. You paid $4 for 2 liters of soda. Yeah. Save your money. Drink water. So, first game I picked up, I did not know they made a Game Boy version of this. Rick. Blades of Steel. Come on. Focus! There we go. So, Blades of Steel on the cover. I don't know if it's Messier, but 99 is definitely Wayne Gretzky. So I did not know they made a Game Boy version of this. So that was pretty cool to find. This was in a pawn shop. Next, a very clean copy of Golf. Now, I gotta admit, this is not the most exciting thing, but it was super clean and just in great shape. So, obviously the kid that bought it barely played it, as you could kind of see a little bit scratching on the side, but yeah. You didn't buy it, it's $3.99. I agree. Soda is the biggest waste of money. And if you know what it does to your body after you drink it, you would not want to drink it. So, next. Again, the labels aren't perfect on this one, but it's okay. Looney Tunes. Got another great deal on that. This was used. You can, I mean, obviously you saw the front label, and the back has a scratching from when you like slide it in and out of the Game Boy. And I believe my last Game Boy game, F1 Race. Somebody wrote on it, as you can see. It's been well loved. Yeah, I like how they don't call it Mario Golf too, but it is very reminiscent, though, this game, of the one on, what is it called? Just lost the name for it. Their 3D one. So, it's very reminiscent of that. You drink more OJ than soda. Pardon me. Honestly, Alex, I wouldn't even drink much OJ because that stuff is horrible for your teeth. My dentist told me years ago, those citrus drinks are just terrible. That they'll just eat through your enamel. So, a little bit is fine. Don't get it every time, though. So, those are the Game Boy games. Put them to the side. And sorry for the camera that keeps zooming out. Let me see if I can do something about that. And there's not tons. There. There was a Coke around here, just like Kleenex and Xerox. So, Justin, every kind of soda is Coke? Because soda and pop, I guess some places say, and soft drinks, we say around here. It's all pretty much about, it's the same thing. Alex says their teeth are already bad. Well, good luck to you, Alex. As you get older, you're going to need them. All right. Another game. This, I remember when we used to go to the arcades. It's not going to be the exact same arcade version. We have Lethal Enforcers. Come on. Focus. Focus. Now, I don't know if you needed like a light gun or anything to play this. Guess we'll find out. It's in okay condition. I mean, the label is fine. There's nothing too bad. It has like this on the bottom, so I'm assuming it was some kind of like rental copy from a store. Again, it has like, let me see if I can put it right there. The numbers you see next to the word important. Focus. Focus. Anyways, it's hard to see, but you just move my keyboard out of the way. I'm trying to get as much things out of the way so it doesn't focus on anything but the cartridge. Yeah, anyways. Next to the word important, there is number 21, so you can tell it's real. I've already cleaned up the board. So, very cool find. I should play Lawnmower Man if I find a copy. If I find a copy, I'd love to. I'm not finding a ton right now of original cartridge games that aren't stupidly priced. So, again, I find I have better luck at the pawn shops, especially when you buy a considerable amount, than through private sales, like on Facebook Marketplace, or we have Kijiji around here, which is like Craigslist, I guess. I guess you could say in the States. So when you buy it through those places, you're generally not getting a deal. But pawn shops, they buy everything for pretty much nothing, and you can usually get a good deal if, well, first of all, if you're friendly with them, and understand they do have a little bit of leeway depending on how much you're buying. So around 10 to 20% generally you can get off with an ask. And they need to move this merchandise. They can't keep it forever. So I don't have any more Super Nintendo games, but I do have more Nintendo games. I got the copy of Narc. Just Say No. So it's very like retro with that just say no to drugs kind of deal. Non-perfect condition. I mean, obviously there's a rip on the label. It is real. I don't know how many people would try to scam this. The number is kind of like etched in, but it's coming off. Cleaned it up. Should be good to go. Thank you all for hanging out with me today for a bit, by the way. Definitely appreciate it. Another game I've never tried before. Tetris 2. Not a game I'm super familiar with, gotta admit. But it's super clean, which probably says how good the game is. Again, it has like the little stamp of the numbers right next to like all this label here. Cleaned it, barely needed cleaning. Whoever bought this was not a big fan of the game. And the last of that generation, because I do have more, but the last of that generation games is this. So I found this. I mean, it says it's Mortal Kombat 2. Yeah, Tetris, yeah. I like to annoy Mike about Tetris, really. That's the only reason. I don't really have an obsession with Tetris. I do have a copy, though, in my AGS 101. I have Tetris for, like, for DOS. In the box, actually. Works. So, what I thought originally was a copy of Mortal Kombat 2. But then, I mean, it's been removed since then. There was a little sticker on the side that said, like, multi-cart. Which I was like, okay then. So when you open it up, I'll just move the cartridge out of the way. So everything is there, not in the greatest of shape. So you have the manual, like the box is obviously an original Genesis box. I don't have Mortal Kombat 2, but if I find it, now I can complete it. It's this. I've never owned a multi-cart for Genesis. Move that out of the way. So very cool if the camera would focus. Focus! I'm super close. There we go. So it says it's 5 of them. So it's original Kombat, Mortal Kombat 3, the Ultimate something game. I don't know. Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat 2, and Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero. I would like to test this today. I'm not so sure it's going to work out for us. Inside, since Justin, if Justin is still there, by the way, like the last cartridge opening, I thought I opened this one and show you that. So it is uber cheap. This label is pure cheap. This cartridge is just the cheapest plastic I think I've felt on a multi-cart before. Again, it's just Phillips screws. So, take these both out. All right, you're still here? Good, Justin. This is for you. All right, so you saw that last board with the NES or the original Nintendo one. This board is just as strange. So if we open it, I'm gonna be careful. I don't want to snap this cheap plastic. Are you ready? This is the whole thing. So it's just, I'm assuming that's just like a memory chip. And then under the blob is probably just how it runs. This is just plastic. So the board, they did some cost saving, I guess. They didn't want to print out an entire board. There you go. And I think it's like a little resistor next to my finger over there, and that's about it. That's the whole thing. Very strange. I've never seen a multi-cart with so much plastic before. Like, so much... I don't know why they bothered. I mean, this is just essentially to hold on to, like, the little 2 screw points in there. Right? So that's all they were doing that for. Yeah, definitely super cost savings. They didn't even want to print the whole board. As I flip the screwdriver in the air. Diode. Thanks, Justin. Cleaned it up a bit. Don't think there's any real reason to clean it. It barely looks used, this thing. Plastic is cheaper than the circuit board. Yeah, there you go. I don't think this was made in the early 90s. I have a feeling this is within the last 10 years. I'm pretty sure I could probably find a copy online if I really looked. So there you go. I'm going to keep it in the case for now. If I find a copy of MK2, I'm definitely popping it out and completing that. Let me just see if I have a place to put everything. So far, so good. Now, this is my last pickup. I like retro games, retro game consoles. This, unfortunately, is something that I will not be able to show you live on stream, though. Or at least working. So we'll start off with the games. Unless you would like to see the console first, I'll leave it up to all of you. Let me just tap my fingers and shake the table so the camera zooms in and out. So, should I show you the games for it? Or the console? I think leading up to the console is more fun, personally. So I get a drink of water. Garth says console. As he's a you know what disturber, I think. Ever since he got into the t-shirt game, he got famous on YouTube. Alex, Justin, if you're both still there. 2 out of 3 say one thing, I'm gonna do that thing. Yeah, you'll definitely know what console... Well, you might know what console it is, actually. It's a mystery. Okay. So, the console. I'm going to take the console out first. Now, the console is not perfect. Sorry, I'm just reading... Okay, so the console is not perfect. I had to do a little bodge job kind of repair. When I say bodge job, not soldering. It technically works. The last owner, for sure, took it apart. So, let's see if anybody recognizes this. Thanks, Eric. Welcome to the stream. So here is the console. Move it closer to the camera. That keeps zooming in and out. Again, I never claimed to be a professional at this stuff. This is a Gemini. Now, do any of you know what kind of games the Gemini plays? And this is something that I'm pretty sure was not readily available, or was available, but I think just through like ordering through a catalog in the United States, but is available in stores in Canada. But it's pretty rare. Now, not super rare. I mean, it's not like, you know, that Panasonic GameCube that they have. But it's a Coleco Gemini. And this is back in the day when Coleco... I'll just show you the back. Sorry about the terrible camera work. I'll definitely have to work on that. This was back in the day when Coleco was a direct competitor of Atari. So they had their ColecoVision, but I mean, the ColecoVision wasn't fantastic compared to Atari. Atari did a lot better. So what they did naturally was Coleco made their own console, and it played Atari 2600 games. Now, which is insane to think about today, because think of it this way. Let's say suddenly, I don't know, Xbox decides like, oh, our Series X is not doing great. So instead what we're going to do, seeing the great success that, I don't know, that Sony has, we're going to develop a console that plays PS5 games. Like, you can't do that. They would not do that today. I don't think that's quite legal. So this was back in the day when they could. Or apparently, no one was looking. I had to do a minor repair. It's getting a little loose in the cartridge slot. So I added like a little shim inside so it pushes the games where they need to be. It's not a great repair, but it'll have to do for now. So I'll get a buddy of mine to help me out because we're going to see if we could change the pins on it. Yeah. So it has all the same settings. You have a difficulty switch for both players. Left controller, right controller. A reset. Selecting different games because, you know, cartridges could have multiple games. Black and white and color. And on and off. So that was yesterday. I picked this up. Alex says, I see PlayStation. Alex, I have PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo, Telegames, Ataris. Do I have a Coleco? Well, besides this one. I had as a kid TI-99. I had Commodore stuff. I got rid of all of it, though. So I don't really have tons that I'm too attached to. Thanks for stopping by, Garth. So yeah, I like them all. So, that's the console. Came with this, which I'm sure is an aftermarket power supply. As you can see, well, you can almost see. Come on. Let's just move that out of the way. What? Yeah. Anyways, my camera work is terrible. But there we go. This is a 9-volt. Right there. It's, you know, what it was like back in the day with the little pin for the power supply. Power supply works. I took 2 controllers. There was more, but we made a deal that I could buy 2 controllers with it from this gentleman. Controllers do not work perfectly. I opened up, cleaned it, they somewhat work. Some for sure has opened them up. So you have the joystick on the top, button on the side, and then like a, what you call it? It's not a scroll wheel, but a paddle, I guess. Some games required this. Picked up 2. One was opened already, had broken plastic inside. Unfortunately, one had not been opened. I cleaned it a bit, but it's still not working perfectly. So I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. The camera's going to keep focusing on it. Like I said, I'm not fantastic with camera work. But I like the stuff I'm showing. Move this to the side. So, we're almost done with the pickups. And, it was a pricey weekend, but not stupidly pricey. So, let's continue. I also got some more games. So, the first one, I picked 6 games. The seller said I can pick 6 games with the console because he had 3 other real Atari 2600s and a load of games. Originally, the deal was I just saw a photo of 3 Ataris and a lot of games. I thought I was going to get one of the Ataris. I have a 2600 already. It's the final version. So the one that they made into like, I want to say like late 80s, if not early 90s. Like the last plastic version. So so I went to their house, pick it out. The person's wife was there. And then I saw the Gemini, and I knew I wanted the Gemini over the Ataris. Gemini works. Like I said, I had to put a shim in there so it holds the games properly. But it works. You can't say it doesn't. So, one of the games, I've never heard of this game before. Spider Fighter. Looks exciting, doesn't it? There we go. Well, it was zoomed in. Sorry, I think because I have to do this at an angle. So, one of the games. Opened it up. If you ever open an Atari game up, by the way, what you really got to do is you have to take the labels and peel them off. That's why, unfortunately, this one is not looking great. And there's a little screws. There we go. There's screws right there. So you take the screws out. The label you have to be very careful not to destroy. And then it opens up in this tiny little PCB with a chip. And this one has like a little metal shield on it. So that was a pain. Another game I picked up. Raiders of the Lost Ark for the 2600. I did not make that hole in it. That was the former owner. I've cleaned these games as best as I can, by the way. Popeye. Nothing too expensive, so it's a Parker Brothers game. Another Parker Brothers game, which I picked up because I was kind of curious what it was like. Strawberry Shortcake. Man, that camera is not focusing on what I want it to. So it's musical matchups. And then the last two, a game I'd never seen before, so I thought I'd pick it up. Egomania from US Games. Apparently this company does not exist anymore. Weird game. Tried it out for a bit. And the last one, which I knew I had to have, G.I. Joe Cobra Strike. So 6 games. I just picked the ones that I knew I didn't have and that looked different. Unfortunately, I cannot test them on stream. I don't know of a way of outputting the game's signal, so into a capture card. So for now, it'll only be me seeing how to play them unless you look them up online. But what we can do, if you're interested, is we could use this. This is my Retron 5. This will play. Let me just put that here. This will play the other games. I don't think the Genesis game. So if you give me 1 second, turn this thing on. The Retron 5 outputs HD signal. It upconverts games to 720p. There we go. I've used it in the past with streams and for recording gameplay. I'm going to move the camera. Actually, no, the camera should be fine. I don't see any reason to move it. I'm just going to minimize it quite a bit. And move it. Okay. So what we can do is we can play some of the games with the Retron. I'm not too sure about the Genesis one. I know I haven't had a lot of luck with ones that are that new. Because usually the ROMs or whatever on them fill up this and it just does not work. I am not going to be using this piece of garbage here because the controller is absolutely horrendous. So, should we start off? We can start off with either Game Boy. Let me put on my headphones so I can hear the gameplay. So, we could start off with either Game Boy, NES, Or this is flipped around. Game Boy NES, Super Famicom, and we could try the Genesis game. So what do you think are... So NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, or Super Famicom, or Genesis? What do you think we should start off with? I'm going to let you decide. Then I'll pick the controller, depending on the game. Because with these, you could actually use the original controllers. Which is way better than that trashy Hyperkin controller. Okay. Sound is working. Justin DeMorgan says the NES. Eric is voted to see if he could get some games installed on his G5, which was not one of the choices, Eric. But thanks for stopping by. One moment. Alright, so I'm going with Justin. He's the man with the plan. So we'll take out an original NES controller. So we could play the game. We'll start off with a real game. And then I think we'll move over to... Oh, that's definitely not right. Let's put that back. Sorry. That should be the NES one. Yeah. And then we'll move on to the multi-cart to see if that works. Let's try Narc. Should be good. Yeah. So I just picked it up. Okay, so I did try it really quickly, but I did not actually play the game. I just want to see if I could get it working. That's not me controlling it, by the way. That's just the intro of the game. Let's see, controller's working. Whoa. That's quite violent. Oh. Come on, man. Whoa. So, why are all these guys the same though? Okay. I'm not too good at this. Whoa. I didn't know police officers make people explode too often. Okay, is there anything I should be getting to? To get shot in the back of the head? Wah, wah. Okay, how do you win in this game? Because they shoot you constantly. Oh, you gotta hold the button down. You don't tell me that. Oh no, the dog! It's a nice looking game. This is pretty interesting, this part. Oh, R? Yeah, sure. Whatever. Hey! And it looks like a number 3 was me, but I did not put that. Okay. Not the greatest. But it's definitely a game. So, that was Narc. Now you can tell all your families you've seen the game Narc. I think with these NES games, I'm well over 100 NES. Alright. Let's try Tetris 2. So again, how this works is it takes the ROM, downloads it, I believe, into the system. I think I'm going to have to reset this too. Yeah. You all still there? I can hear you in the chat. Or read. I hope this music isn't copyrighted. Oh. Wah, wah. Still here, Alex? Yeah, what are you up to today? See, I think this is the kind of Tetris that Mike would like to play. Because Mike, as we all know, is obsessed with Tetris. It's a not bad version of Tetris. It has like a Dr. Mario kind of feeling to it. Or that could just be me. Attempt to plan for more content or something of that nature and then relax and get some financial stuff together for my apartment tomorrow. My appointment tomorrow with my place? Appointment? Is that what you meant? Excuse me. Ooh, I should not have done that. Oh, this is gonna end very soon. It's gonna end soon. Hey! That was good! I meant to do that. I did not mean to do that. Yeah, I gotta go out later today. Some family stuff for Orthodox Easter. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this purchase, actually. Justin, if you're still there, any plans today? I should be getting your, the C64 that you sent me. Like, I'm assuming tomorrow. If it's in Toronto, like, last week, by now it should be here. It didn't take that long to get from Toronto to Quebec. Oh, come on. Send up your LC2. You're all about that Mac life, aren't you? Oh! Did not mean to do that. Oh. Alright. Well, I'm not going to sit here and play this version of Tetris all day long. So, I say it's a win. That's a good game. Come on. Come on, Hyperkin. Good game. If it will come out. Ugh. Okay. Alright, so multi-cart time. Will it work? I don't think it's going to read what it is. That's not looking good. Let's try that again. If it does that, I'm pretty sure it's not going to work on this system. So how does that look? No, I don't think we're getting this working today. Not on here. It might work on my NES, but I do not have it hooked up here. No. Oh well, so this is not going to work, unfortunately, on this system. What can you do? Alright, so, Super Nintendo, Super Famicom, or Game Boy. Those are your choices, ladies and gentlemen. Let me have some Easter chocolate. Like bad RAM in a processor that says kill me. Very possible. Let me just eat some chocolate while you decide what you'd like to see next. So we can either try the Game Boy games, Super Nintendo game, or the Super Famicom. Justin, I don't have Famicom. Super Famicom. All right. Let's put away the NES port. I don't want to lose these rubbers, so I just put it back when I'm done. Take out a Super Nintendo controller. One that I desperately need to clean. Alright, now I'm going to warn you, the cartridge port for the SNES is super tight, doesn't always work. Here we go, Super Bomber Man, Panic Bomber, dubba da dubba da dubba da dubba da. As I get a drink of water. Dubba da dubba da dubba da. Alright. I think I tried it really quickly, so I'm going to have to reset it. And look what it is. 1995 Hudson Soft. So, which one do I pick? Sure. Jamaica. Excuse me. What he said. Yeah, it feels like a Tetris thing. Something up. I'm assuming you meant level up. Boom! That's how we do it around here. Wait, so who won? Did I win? Think? No. Okay. That's some game. I like the Tetris 2 better. Now I get to try and take it out. I said the pins are stupidly tight. Oh my god. I don't know Japanese, so it looks like you won. I'm assuming. Okay. We'll move over to Super Nintendo. Lethal Enforcers. Oh, you can turn sheets on. Oh, you have to add them. That's true. And I think I started this. Yeah. Just to see if I can get it working. So this is Lethal Enforcers. I don't know if I'm supposed to use a controller or like the light gun there. I don't know how well it's going to work with the controller.
Player 1.
Yeah. Okay. So I gotta use B, I guess? Choose as many targets you can, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I kind of understand. Oh, this is terrible with the controller. But I don't have the super scope. Okay. So reload is A. This is not a fun game to do with the controller. That's like Gun Game Virtual Cop 1 and 2. I think I played them in the arcade back in the day when they were actually out. Ah, come on. This is terrible. Don't use this controller to play this game. It's not meant for the system. No. You know, this is a light gun game. I played this back in the day, but I'm using a controller. So look at the way it's moving, right? It's almost identical to Virtua Cop. Yeah, it was one of those games that had like the weird, realistic graphics.
Player 1.
Let's try the actual game and see how it goes. There's a Super Nintendo 6 shooter. Excuse me, Super Nintendo 6 shooter? I didn't know that.
Player 1.
I wonder if it actually came with the game. The bank robbery.
You missed me. Put your hands up. You missed me.
It's terrible to use a D-pad with this.
You can't do it. Reload. 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 You can't shoot me.
You have no idea how painful this is, your experience.
You missed me. Magnum boy.
Oh, I got a better gun. Because it was just left around the bank.
Player 1.
Why are you running around, lady?
Reload. Reload.
If I had the light gun, I would play this on a CRT TV, because you can't use a light gun with LCDs, but I do have one. If I have multiple TVs, I guess. Oh, yeah. That's actually good. like I said, I remember this when I was a kid in the arcade. So Lethal Enforcers, a win right there. I think it cost me like $5. So let's try the Genesis one. I'm pretty sure it's not going to work if the Super Nintendo one. Oh, sorry, the Nintendo one didn't work. That's not a good sign. Yeah, I have a bad feeling if it takes this long to load. Does my stomach makes noise? Nope. Didn't think so. Reset it. Nope. Didn't think so. This machine's not really meant for these kind of cards. So that's out of the question. I'll try that on my own, on one of my Genesis, whatever you want to call it. So we're down to the Game Boys, which I will use an NES controller to play. And again, thanks for sticking around, Alex and Justin. It's very much appreciated. Plug back in. Alright, let's try golf, because I'm pretty sure I will end it pretty quickly. Nada! That's not a good sign. No, got it right the first time. That's weird. Wow. I will have to take a look at that. Looney Tunes? No. Gameboy Advance. There we go. Feels like 4, but it's not even noon here. It is almost 3 o'clock here. 92. I was but a young man. What is that? Oh! Boo! Listen to the music, it sounds off. It's slippery. It's like I'm in ice. The way it plays. Ah! Whoa! What is that thing? Can I jump on him? Oh, I can! Oh, no, no! Jump off, though. Wah, 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 wah. Okay. Not a bad game. At least it works. I don't know why Mario Golf's not working. Or golf. Nothing. Let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. One of them had battery damage. I don't remember which one. So apparently clock batteries, or little batteries like this, I should say, the CR2032s can cause damage. More than likely was this one. Yes, it was. I don't know if you could see that, but on there, a lot of corrosion. It's very possible that something came off the board. Oh, I'm not going to be fixing it now, I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, I could try IPA, but I have a feeling maybe something fell off the board from the corrosion. Because there's like some spots there that look like there might have been something. Yeah, I know they can leak too, Justin. I found a few like that in the past. I'll try cleaning this, but I don't think it's going to do anything. Because we didn't even get anything. Like, I wouldn't think it needs a battery to work. It might. Well. Try it out, I guess. I don't have a lot of faith that this is going to work, though. Because it was, like, just dead as a doornail. Didn't even register as being put in. Hey! I'm glad I was wrong. Well, obviously something was dirty. Good job, Alex. Okay. I'm going to reset this because I think I tried it. I don't think I'll be playing this for very long because I'm not huge on golf. Eric. Oh. We can continue. Obviously, that battery's still showing is pretty good. Huh? I'm terrible with golf games because I never understand the controllers. Oof. Way too hard. Rough. Seriously? Oh. I tried to do it. Oh. Golf, you hit the thing with the other thing. Or apparently you miss and you miss and you miss. Closer. Alright, well I'm on the green, or the arrows. Oh, come on, man! Really? Doot doot. Par 3. I should have to take 3 shots. This is going to take me 300. Ooh, that was not good. Oh! Seriously? Is that you clapping silently, Alex? Barp, barp. No. Oh! This should have been 3 shots, by the way, according to Nintendo. On the green. I hate you. Okay. At least it works. How about some F1? Did I try this yet? No, I did not. I don't think so. No. Okay, you have to go to Australia. Either type A or type B. Yeah, it's fine. Look at those realistic graphics. Which button do I press? A? Yeah. Whoa! Realistic 3D effects. Picks up speed like no car I've ever seen. Go! Stop going off the track. Aw. I wonder if it's actually being emulated properly, though. That could be the reason that it's picking up so fast. Oh! It's like 0 to 60 in a half a second, not even. Oh. Who bought this for their Game Boy? I thought it was a good idea. Let's go. Third place. Not bad. That's me. Well, oh, I don't like how I'm doing that with my arm. That seems kind of Nazi-esque. Sorry to say. Okay. Certainly was a game. think we're down to our last game, which was Blades of Steel on the Game Boy. I know this game from the NES, but I had no idea they made it for Game Boy. So try to undo the wire. 2 players. You had the link cable, I guess, in this exhibition. No, go back. MTL. Really? So, Montreal, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Toronto, Edmonton, Vancouver, Minnesota, but not Boston? That's weird. You would think they'd have Boston in a hockey game. Pro League! That looks like it. Uh-oh. Oh! Boo. Boo earns. Oh no! Where are my guys? What player falls down after hitting a goalie? They're not made of stone. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh, no. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh! Ay, 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 ay. Oh, come on! Alright. Boo Toronto. And I can say that because I'm not from Toronto. Well, Eric is going to go live in half an hour. So that is perfect, because I don't think I have anything else to show you. Those were the pickups from today. We are about done. So, this is what I just ate. I just move the garbage out of the way, make it a little more respectable. I hope you all enjoyed the stream today. For all the people that came out today, I appreciate it. It was just a little impromptu stream just to show you some of the latest pickups for my collection. Appreciate a like if you haven't already hit the like button. A sub if you haven't subbed, but I'm pretty sure you've all subbed by now. And maybe sharing this, saying with your friends, hey, there's this really cool guy that likes vintage technology and video games and computers, things like that. So I hope you all have a nice weekend, and I will see you all in the next one.